We're making all the Halloween things. You know we have to make sweatshirts. Let's go make it. But first, always remember to share this so it will save to your profile and you can find it when you're looking for it again later. Y'all, this sweatshirt is what got me here. This was the first video that blew up on TikTok and had a whole bunch of views, and that was less than a year ago. Y'all are amazing. I'm so grateful for every single one of y'all. This has been a wild ride. So let's do it again, only this time in kid sizes. This template is available at hometownquiltcompany.com. Now, you know I have two little people, so I have to do two of them. So I sewed some strips together, 2.5-inch strips. I just stitched them together, pretty side to pretty side, opened them up, ironed them, laid my template on, cut it out. Here we are. Then I cut out my eyes and I cut out my mouth. Oh my goodness, look how cute he is. So now what I'm going to do is stitch around his eyes and stitch his mouth and one single stitch around the outside of him on top of this flannel, because we're going to cut the flannel away from him so we can put it on the shirt. Now I use flannel because I like the lift. It gives you this look of like made from an old cutter quilt. And obviously we're not using an old cutter quilt, we're using what we have, we're making it and then making it look like that. So anything that gives it some lift is great. You can use fleece, you can use batting, you can use flannel, you can use, well, I think that's probably really it. But if you have something else you want to use it. I'm going to change my thread color to black to sew his eyes on, but you don't have to change your bobbin thread because you're not going to see that. I am putting a new bobbin in because mine was almost empty. And the only thing worse than changing your bobbin is running out of bobbin and not knowing it. All right, now I put this white thread back on there. I know y'all are yelling at me. I need some of y'all to be here in real life to yell at me. I'm going to straight stitch around his eyes and his mouth in black thread. I love the fray when it's washed. If you don't love the fray, just zigzag it. That'll be fine. And then I'm going to change my thread to white and I'm going to straight stitch around his body. Also, if you don't love the fray, you can zigzag around his body. Back stitching when you start and when you stop, because my grandma said so. Now my patchwork piece is not traditional Halloween colors. It's really pretty girl colors, but you could obviously do traditional Halloween and you could do patchwork squares. It doesn't have to be strips, but whatever you make, be sure to email me a photo to hometownquiltcompany@gmail.com for show and tell. We all want to see what you're creating. Y'all are inspiring people every single day, starting with me. You inspire me. So you keep sending your projects and I'll keep sharing them. All right, we've sewn it. Now we're going to cut it out. And after we cut it out, we're going to put it on our shirt. If we can find some scissors. Now you're going to cut it out just next to the fabric. Don't cut your fabric and be careful not to cut the stitches that you just made. Now let's get our sweatshirt. We're going to lay it. Oh my goodness, y'all look how cute that is. Lay your sweatshirt flat. Make sure it's reasonably centered. And then you're going to pin it and you're going to sew basically on top of the stitches you just made. You're going to sew again, straight stitch or zigzag, whatever you did or whatever you want to do. And you're just going to go around the ghost itself. And then you're going to have the cutest ghost ever. Now this one is on the website and it's kid size, but there's also a larger one that's adult size. Or if you get the larger one, you can just print it at 50% to shrink it down to kid size. And you can do that with any of the templates actually. If you wanted to make smaller quilt blocks or do a project that wasn't quite as big. Now I'm going to sew this on. I'm going to try my best not to sew the front to the back of the shirt. So I'm going to open it up and slide it in here, and I'm going to sew this all the way around with a straight stitch. Back stitching when you start and when you stop, because my grandma said so. I'm using the flannel because I like the lift, but if I wanted to do this shirt and I didn't have anything to put behind it, I'd do it with nothing and it would be perfectly fine. And the answer is yes. You can put it on a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a tank top, a hoodie, whatever it is you want to put it on. Okay, we are finished. Now let's look. Oh my goodness, my little ladies are going to love this, and your little people will too. I'm going to go make my second one. You go make yours. My name is Tammy. I'm your favorite sewing teacher, and I would love for you to come sew with me.